Legacy with Japan. Oh, Esther, deadly kitten. Congratulations, Pappy. GG. But here we go. We're getting into our grand finals, the best of 5, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sidestone Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. It is Solar. Let's go. But congrats, Esther, deadly kid. Congratulations. So that MaxPax doing work with Templar. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is something that Clem has been very vocal about, is the strength of Templar in the current meta, especially these early Storm builds. Basically, because of the change of the Templar, they are very powerful when it comes to zoning. So in the position that we just saw, Clem couldn't push. He could not push into the third base of MaxPax due to the amount of high Templar and the amount of storms that kind of stifled any kind of aggression that Clem had, and he just could not gain any ground. Meanwhile, I guess more importantly, MaxPax is able to harass, able to keep back the reinforcements, and then set up that surround with that War Prism. But that is something that Clem has been vocal about TVPs, these early Storm builds. Can be brutal if the goal is to be aggressive, of course. That's the caveat of that's the caveat for that kind of position. But here we go. For now, Hatchet got Spool, standard opener out of Solar. And we're expecting all-ins. Very quickly, when it comes to this series and this matchup, welcome to 10,000 feet. So we just mentioned this, but 10,000 feet is a very small map. Shorter rush distance by ground, aggression is favored. We just saw Clem attempt and fail to be aggressive on 10,000 feet. But I do expect to see all-ins. If you have been watching Solar as of late in ZVP, it's very, very rare to see Solar macro. It's very, very rare. Very often it's Solar just all in after all in. Different variations, different flavors. We've seen a lot of Roach based all-ins, a lot of Hydra based all-ins. That's typically what we expect out of Solar. He also does embrace Mutaplay as well. It's typically a bunch of shenanigans. A bunch of quirky play and or quirky styles. Show us what you got. In ZVP, I should emphasize. In the ZVP matchup. Meanwhile, MaxPax, he's known for standard play. He's known to play standard and very by the book. Does like to mix hidden Glaive Adepts, for example, but isn't too quirky with his play. For now, Stargate open at MaxPax, opening up Oracle into a third base. Meanwhile, our eyes are on Solar. Does he open up with the early Evo Chamber, Roach Warren, or Lair? We're just looking for the tech. Yes, from here it is going to be the initial Oracle opener. Again, standard opener out of MaxPax. The goal here is to scout across the map to harass, to secure your third expansion. Once again, though, I do want to emphasize that aggression is favored here on 10,000 feet, so we're expecting aggression due to that shorter rush distance. We'll see. Yeah, so MaxPax's claim is for third. Again, the distance between the natural and the third base is very short on this map, so much more defendable third expansion. Snipes the Overlord. Overlord goes down. Oracles, they move out across the map. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot drones. Here comes MaxPax. Going for an earlier Twilight Council. Interesting. Earlier Council, delayed Evo Chamber, or I should say delayed Forge. And this could be Glaives or early Blink. We'll see if he does go for a slightly later Forge here, which has been very trendy as of late. Roach Warren out of Solar, playing safe. Oracle pokes in, 2 drone kills. 3 drones even. Not bad. 3 drones go down. Meanwhile, I still don't see... Okay, was gonna say I don't see the Forge. It's gonna be a much later Forge here, but early Blink. If you've been watching players like Hero or Classic, they've been very fond of this style. Basically, we're going for a much later upgrade here, and this does mean that +1 and +2 are going to be late for the Protoss. That is true, but the upside is a very early Blink. This allows MaxPax to be the aggressor. I just mentioned earlier that specifically on 10,000 feet, aggression is favored. I mean, MaxPax can be the aggressor instead, with Mass Blink Stalker early on to apply pressure to the 4th base. Oh, the Oracle. Yeah, the Oracle does extend. A little bit greedy there from MaxPax. We'll lose 1 Oracle. This is the 4th base that we spoke about. Ideally, MaxPax wants to push in and attempt to break that 4th. Here come the Stalkers. Here comes MaxPax. So again, the goal is to break that 4th expansion. Soul is ready for the counterattack. Things they move in. See, MaxPax was distracted for a moment. We have a Spire on the way. A risky play here from Solar. Very risky. We'll see if he gets away with it. Again, so far, Mutas unscouted can deal critical damage. They can get out of hand. MaxPax's aggression was delayed. Now he's pushing. He has Blink. And it's going to be pure lane defense here from Solar. No upgrades. Let's back it in. MaxPax, he has his warp in. Breaking to the 4th. We have 7 meters now on the way. Ooh, first ace trap does get baited. It's out one of the traps. Lings, they come in for the surround. Base out the second stasis trap. Solar, he's holding well. He's holding very nicely. And the mutas are coming. And remember, MaxPax has no idea. He is not scouted. He has no idea what's going on. Behind this, the Natural's exposed. The main is exposed as well. These trades have not been good enough. Finally gets some of the expansion. Lings are going down. Mutas are revealed. Yeah, it does reveal the mutas. So he can miss into the main. It does get into the mineral line. At the same time, these Stalkers are getting out of hand. Oh no, where's the blink control? Yeah, some late blinks. Some late blinks are from MaxPax. Not quite engaging with everything. Pulls back to the stasis trap. Just connecting with 1 Ling. And so he holds. Yeah, he's holding on back at home. Meanwhile, 18 pros going down across the map. Critical damage. MaxPax is hurting. And now we're collapsing in. And we're coming in from behind. Getting on top of the Stalkers. That's still quite close. Again, that still was 20 probes. That was still a lot of damage. MaxPax still committing in. Yeah, no gas at the 3rd base. He's going for just a 10 gate all in. Pure Stalker. Can he break through? I feel like he should be able to. There just aren't enough Zerglings. Yeah, now just trading with the Stalkers. Heavy losses here for Solar. Losing so many... sorry, I must say mutas. Losing so many mutas. MaxPax is getting out of hand. I'm a little bit surprised that MaxPax isn't making any Phoenixes. Remember, he has a Stargate. That's a lot of mutas. And we're just fighting head on. I'm trying to at least. And does attempt to. Stalker count is relatively low. So like he knows he's close to breaking MaxPax. He's close. And at this point, I do feel like Solar has held. At this point, he's just snubbling out of control, getting another expansion that we can now take up into towards Hive Tech. building up his Ling Muta. Remember, MaxPax, he doesn't really have any gases to tech up into Storm, into Colossus, into Archons. It's just purely Gateway Army. It's purely Gateway all in, and it's failing. It is failing here. And catching out more Stalkers. Once again, just fighting head on. Down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. Jesus. So many. As we're hitting critical mass of mutas, it's going to be 19 mutas. And again, still no Phoenixes, no further tech. Gases are now finally being taken at the 10-minute mark. So delayed. MaxPax has recognized that he can no longer kill. Even if the chance was slim earlier, now it's even slimmer. What did I say? 19? 25. 25 meters. Let's go. And these should be the final moments here. Once again, base out the stasis. Collapsing on the Stalkers. Does commit in. Tries to at least. And Mir just going for the dive. Does focus on the Stalkers, just ensuring they don't hit critical mass. Just ensuring. So doubles back around. Oof. And finally, the first Phoenix. The first Phoenix is on the way. MaxPax is like, you know what? This isn't working. It's obviously it's too little too late. Too little too late. These mutas have gotten out of hand. As we should be seeing some more activity here from Solar. Oh. Bleeding out some mutas. Technically there is a way back in here for MaxPax. He can attempt to stabilize. He's still a ways away from doing so. Nice aces. Nice aces, kiting back, catching a 1, 2, 3, 4 mutas. Once again, expensive losses here for Solar. And I'd be concerned for Solar if he stops trading. Like, he has to keep trading. Gotta keep going. He commits in. Gets 1, 2, 3, 4 Stalkers. But really, he wants the Phoenixes. Jesus. As he's being punished. There we go. Still worth it, though. Ling's a bust into the mineral line. Muta's pushing back in. 15 probes go down. And there's going to be a lot of Phoenixes. No upgrades. No fleet beacon. So we are still lacking those upgrades. But for the most part, again, the Muta play was worth it. It was risky, considering that MaxPax was going for a 3-base all-in. MaxPax should have been able to punish, but wasn't quite able to break the front lines. Never killed the 4th expansion. Jesus. As we're sniping a lot of mutas. Now, is there a world where Mass Phoenix here is actually able to outtrade and punish Solar and allow MaxPax to build up his economy? I mean, he's on the way. He's getting there. No spores in the mineral lines. And messes that up here from Solar, bleeding out more mutas. Hydrogen now on the way. But this is getting a little bit scary, not gonna lie. A little bit worrisome. Once again, nice Phoenix control here from MaxPax. He controls well. I believe this is Templar Archives. Yes. No storm yet. Once again, no spore. What the? These base, there's still no spores in these mineral lines. So much greed out of Solar. Hydras are revealed. That should prompt storm. Oh, we're just pushing. MaxPax, he can end the game, by the way. No shot. Oh no, this is brain breaking for Solar. Like, he was in such a good position for so long in this game, but again he chose not to tech up, and after a while he was not doing enough damage. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Okay, gets over the Stalkers. Stalkers, they get surrounded. Lings, they're popping up. The Zerglings, they'll kill the ground army. Send it, Pappy, send it. There's one Mutalist left. It's now all about the Ling Hydra. But Solar, here's saying some hefty losses. 26 drone kills. These Zelts are insane. Solar, he falls behind. He has no economy. He has no drones. No shot. Oh no. Not like this. He's to build a Corruptors and over IMO. No, it's too late. Like, there's no economy. Like, he can't afford it. Like, Solar, he's broke. This is it. Solar, he's all in. Solar, he's being forced all in, and he's being forced into this kind of army. Yeah, plenty of Archons. Plenty of Archons. GG gets called, and MaxPax takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very impressive comeback there from MaxPax, and Solar. Ooh, resting on his lowers a little bit there. Again, Solar, he did well for himself early on. Solar, he was able to shut down the 8 gate. He was able to shut down the 3 base all in, able to gain map control, cripple the economy. Like, Solar, he was doing well for himself, but he wasn't taking up. He was staying on mutas, which is fine if he's able to keep that momentum going. But over time, he was not really doing much damage. He was bleeding out a lot of mutas even before the Phoenixes. But once the first Phoenix arrived, that's when we switch. That's when we should have seen a switch into Hydras and into Lurker tech, or into Roaches, one or the other. But we saw that he saw the Phoenixes and he's still stuck on Ling Muta. He made the decision to stay on Ling Muta and he got punished for it. Phoenixes, they just snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax does take game number 1, and now we're loading the game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. But very quickly, everything just, the turns were tabled. The turns were tabled on Solar, and that was brutal again. Like, he made it through the hard part. He shut down the initial 8 gate, but alas, he was not able to follow up. He was not able to deal any further critical damage. Let's go. Spawning in the top left hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player himself, the Zach Green Zerg. It is Solar. Here we go. Here we go. But again, Solar, he was just stuck on mutas for too long. And again, it's okay to be committed to muta play, be committed to muta play like that, but only if you're doing damage, right? If you're crippling the economy, trading with the army, and making sure your opponent does not build up. Once they start to stabilize, you got to get out of it. You need to get out of it and start switching into either a Roach Ravager heavy style or a Hydra Lurker heavy composition instead. Stuck on the mutas. You saw the attempted switch into Hydras, but it's too late. Too little too late. And here we go. Loading the game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Ruby Rock. This map also does favor aggression. I don't see solo going into mutas again this series. It's typically something you do once in a best of 5, once in a best of 3. Now that we've seen it and now that it did not work, after doing so well early on, we should be abandoning muta play here. And eyes are on Solar for a 3-base Hydra all-in or for a German taxi. Eyes are on Solar. For now, Hashgas Pool, standard opener. When it comes to Ruby Rock, again, the third base is more open, more exposed. There's no elevated position here when it comes to the main attack path. Likewise, we also have this area here in between the natural and third base, which is also open. It's why we often do see a lot of all-ins on this map, and why they're expected. Now, because of that, even though I would say it was a shaky early and mid-game from MaxPax, it would make sense for him to open up with early blink. Remember last game, it was a late forge, early blink, and early aggression, and MaxPax for the most part, he was holding his own, did bleed out a lot of soldiers eventually, especially with when the mutas came into play. But MaxPax was unrelenting, just doubling down on the mass stalker. Pulled it off in the end. Did pull it off. Meanwhile, Solar, he pulls out of gas. Gets link speed, pulls out of gas, very standard opener here, claiming his third, and building up. That does move in. Does move in. Does right in the mineral line. Oracles are on the way. Once again, our eyes are on Solar to see whether he goes into a lair first, Eva Chamber first, or Roach Warren, or Bailey Nest. But where's the tech? Should find out in the next 30 seconds. Likewise, Solar, he does come in for a scout. Confirms the second Oracle's on the way. Yep, once again, early Twilight Council. This time, this Twilight Council is earlier than last game, actually. It's a little bit earlier. So, Glaives are still on the table. Evo Chamber out of Solar. Glaives would work wonders here, and MaxPax the scout. He does! Oh, not quite. Never mind. I get excited about that. He just saw the spawning pool. He does not see the Evo Chamber. If he saw the chamber, Glaives would be the go-to. Without seeing it, it might still be Blink again. Twilight Council's finishing. What's it going to be? Forge. Yeah, Forge is on the way, so it's going to be Blink. +1 melee links out of Solar into Ling Hydra. As we were mentioning, so because of Solar's build, he's going to be skipping Banelings and skipping Roaches. That's why Glaive could work really, really well here against Solar. But it is going to be Blink, and the +1 melee links are ideal against Blink. I do favor Solar early on. The Oracles barely do get away. Weakened Oracle does pull back. There is on the way, gets spotted by the Revelation. And we'll see when MaxPax takes his gases. Soul's playing it safe. Goes for the Bailey Nest. Here comes the early move outs. Remember, this is earlier than normal due to the early blink. And the goal should be the 4th base. Should be the main target. Meanwhile, Solar, he's going to Link Bane Hydra. Standard follow-up here. This time again, no mutas. Links they pick in, they get 1 probe. And Solar, he is not joining up his base. I mean, at the moment he cannot. is done. One Solar goes down. Decent stasis. Oof. Stage drops going off. Reinforcements have arrived. We mentioned earlier that that MaxPax, he wants that 4th base. It's getting low. Solar's holding. And Queens move in at the same time. Ooh, Bailey, they crash into the mineral line. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, MaxPax, he was distracted, so were we. He's hyper-fixated here on the main army, and now MaxPax is all in. MaxPax is all in, and he's being shut down. A nice stasis. Very nice stasis trap. But again, MaxPax, he has to at least kill the base, and that'll be a start. Hydras are trickling in. Oh, where's that warp in? Backing resources. This MaxPax, he needs more damage. This is still not good enough. The Hydra cannon is amassing. And soon Solar can start to move out. He can soon start to push. Trigger one of the stasis traps. MaxPax, I mean, he's been trading well against the leagues at least. Oh, as he is forced to spend both stasis traps. Ay, ay, ay. MaxPax moving out with the Zealot run by. Hydra cannons are getting higher and higher. And it's looking more and more bleak here for MaxPax. The cells will help. Catching the Queen. Does the other Queen. Zealots, they do try to poke in, but last row Bailey's to defend. Yeah, Solar, he's fine. Perfectly fine. And he can soon break out. And remember, there's no splash damage, there's no storm, there's no Colossus by design. Remember, there's the same build that MaxPax went for last game. It's just a 3-base all-in. It's a 3-base all-in. That's why there's no gases. That's why there's no tech. That's why this 4th base was very late. It's just purely a gateway composition for MaxPax. And it does not scale well into a longer game. It doesn't scale. This goes up. Solar, he should soon push. It's almost maxed. And again, this all came down to the Bailey run by. It all as MaxPax, he was all in, and to have like a delayed or disrupted all in like that is brutal. Archons will help, but Bailey's ahead for the mineral line. This time MaxPax is paying attention. But there are so many Bailings. There are so many. He gets in. Oof. Brutal connections. 18 pro kills. Archons are on their own. And with that, we have a back and forth. We have a series. Solar Sun steps in, takes out another Archon. And there is nothing left here. There shouldn't be a defense. Final Archon goes down. Lunges in. He lunges in. And with that, again, we will have a series. Both Game 1 and Game 2, MaxPax going for the same build. I'm hoping that we can see some more diversity, though, as GG gets called and Solar takes game number 2. Whew. GG. GG, well played. We have that back and forth. Again, same build 2 games ago to MaxPax. Game 1, he was able to punish eventually those mutas and build up and shut them down. Game number 2, though, we saw that MaxPax, he was committing across the map. He was distracted. He was pushing in towards the 4th base. And as he was pushing, we saw the Bailing run by into the natural mineral line. Sorry, into the 3rd mineral line. I mean, we didn't see it. Neither did MaxPax. And with that, things got out of hand, got out of control. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're tied up 1-1 and we're getting into game number 3. Bearing in mind it's a best of 5. Best of 5. We have more games ahead of us and more games to come. For now, though, we're jumping into that 3rd game to determine who takes a lead in the series. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the blue Protoss player, the Danish Protoss representing Slicestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. It is Solar. Let's go. Let us go. As welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a larger map of the map pool, but has a very open 4th and 3rd expansion, so aggression is still more favored here compared to Winter Madness or compared to Celestial Enclave, or Mothership is open as well. But again, a more accessible 4th, a more accessible 3rd. So we're expecting aggression out of Solar. Meanwhile, from MaxPax, we're hoping to see something more defensive. We're hoping to see something other than 8-gate Blink. And the early Blink build. We'll see. We shall see. So now we're building up. We have our standard openers. From here, our eyes are going to be on Solo when it comes to his tech. Once again, we'll be waiting to see if he goes for the early Evo Chamber, early Roach Warren, or early Lair. Based on the map itself, we should be getting into the early chamber. There is a chance here that Sola plays Hyper Greedy. That might work here, going for a faster Hydrogen into faster Hive into faster Lurkers. That is a style that Rogue is very fond of, and that we've seen a couple of times out of Solar, which is just be cut some corners, be Hyper Greedy, and just rush into Lurker tech, into Hive tech Lurkers. It's a very niche build, but it's the back of my mind, especially on some of these larger maps. This map isn't bad for Muta play, but we already saw Mutas in game 1, so I want to lean away from that. Let's go. Don't forget to stretch. Posture check in the chat. Posture check. Sorry, just stretching. Whew. Here we go. For now, it's going to be the initial Stargates. I don't really think that MaxPax is one to mix in Void Ray openers. We're expecting an Oracle here. And it is going to be the Oracle. Technically, Void Ray openers are viable. The Void Ray opener leads into hunting down Overlords, denying vision, and denying scouting information. But so far, standard play. Speaking of standard, oh, did you see that? Okay, bit of a cancellation. Does save the drone. We're still waiting to see either an Evo Chamber or a Lair. That's still early. True. Oracles are moving out. Third base is run down. Yes, MaxPax is poking in, no major damage yet. The other interesting thing here is that we only have a second Oracle. There's no third Oracle being made. And there it is, a much more standard Forge and Twilight Council. Looks like +1 and Blink. This time there's no kind of disparity here. There's no earlier Twilight Council. Looks like standard play here by MaxPax. Now there's suddenly a higher chance that we see gases being taken into Storm or into Colossus. Like, it looks like a more standard mid to late game here from MaxPax. Yeah, there's the earlier Robo already. Meanwhile, we can see that Solar, he actually does skip his Evo Chamber. Okay, so he's going for the Roach Warren into the Lair. Once again, embracing a longer game. Technically, this can lead into Roach Hydra, into like a 3-base all-in. We'll see when the Eva Chambers get thrown down. We'll see. MaxPax taking up in towards Storm. No surprises here. Temple Archives into Storm into a robust defensive setup. MaxPax is going to be the defender. Solo's taking gases. Where is that done? Where is that hydrogen? Technically, it could be a Spire. With 4 gases. Spire is possible. Yeah, there it is. Spire is on the way. Okay. Okay. We're going into mutas. It wasn't quite successful in game 1. We'll see if it goes unscouted here in game 3. Bold move out of Solar. Bold move. I mean, there's a much more macro variation of muta play. In game 1, we were rushing to mutas. Here, we're just kind of slowly making our way there. Solo's taking his gases. Archon drop is coming in. Damage is nice and all, but we'll see if MaxPax scouts. Committing into early zealots. Want to trade. Roaches are ready. Nice kiting here by Solar. Solar, he should be able to hold his own. Forced to make extra roaches. True. Does force out roaches. Drops into the main. Muta production has begun. And MaxPax, does he get behind the mineral line? Does he get in? He's so close. He's so close. Ace trading well, getting 1, 2, 3 roaches. Very nice damage. The Queen will zone away. And MaxPax is woefully underprepared back at home. He's not ready for mutas. He's not ready for it. Oh. Yeah, as the Archons, they just bully the roaches. Jesus. The roaches are getting bullied back. As mutas are about to hit the field. And now they're scouted. MaxPax now he knows. I mean, mutas are already across the map. Getting into the mineral lines. Their cannons are ready in time. And probes, they will go down. 1, 2, 3, 4 probe kills. Yeah, 7 probes going down. This time we can see MaxPax having a much stronger reaction, going for a second Stargate in Phoenix production. Much stronger reaction this time from MaxPax. If you recall in game 1, MaxPax was so stubborn when it comes to going into Phoenixes. This time is much faster as a reaction, as a response. Man, I'm looking very robust. Yeah, Solar cannot move in. You cannot move in. And I'll be honest, the mutas are great at harassing. I don't see Solar breaking this natural position or this third position. It's going to be very heavily fortified. Solar, he's maxed. He's maxed out with a 4 base economy. He is making the way in. Does go for the Stargates. Doesn't quite get a Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenixes, they survive. Archon, they move into reinforce. 1 Phoenix goes down. Oof. And does kill 18 probes. Nice damage here by Solar. Main army's moving in. And Solar, he does cripple the economy, getting 26 probe kills. Is what he's hoping for. So far, the mutas have been worth it. True. Have been worth it. Nice aces. Stasis goes off. It's going to be a very difficult journey here for MaxPax to get a 4th expansion. It is possible, though, to get a 4th base. Yeah, we're just all in. Okay. I was curious to see if MaxPax was going to try to slow down and get a 4th expansion, but it does seem like he just wants to commit across the map, and he does recognize as well that he just can't macro out into a longer game. I mean, this is a death blow of an army. Does he drop into support? Prism goes down. As MaxPax moves out, so Solo's moving in. Trying to catch reinforcements. I will say the Solo's ground army is pretty weak. So we're going for the base trade, okay. We are committing. Army breaks into the natural. At the same time, the 4th expansion is going to fall. Ideally, we do want to hold on to the storms, though. Don't want to be too wasteful. He wants to hold on. Phoenix is there to overextend. Phoenix is taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. 17 pro kills. This is one High Templar with the main army. He's going to break through the Spine Forest. The Immortals will break through. Okay. The Spine Forest goes down. The Roach Warren as well. No more Roach production. Uh-oh. No more Roaches. Phoenix is at decent control. Oh, he's out of Phoenix. Use the take over the natural, bearing in mind that Solo does have a bunch of expansions. They're mainly empty, but does have bases. Oh, he recalls! Yeah, recalls back home, going for the storm. I'm on the fence about the recall. Phoenixes, they take a lot of hits. There's what, 4 Phoenixes left? 4 Phoenixes. Archon goes down. Yeah, and Solar he overwhelms. He overwhelms the army. GG gets called. It was a messy recall, and Solar, he will take the 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Once again, it was very, very risky to go into meta play here for Solar, but it was unscouted. It was unscouted. That's what matters most here. No scouts, no vision, no realization. MaxPax was caught with his pants down with the meta play. This time, he was much faster to switch into Phoenixes. That is true, but despite that, the mutas still did critical damage. Likewise, the Roach Ravager as well, containing MaxPax on low base count. He never got a 4th base. He never got a 4th. He was forced into an eventual 3-base all-in, but it was such a late all-in as well. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into game number 4, potentially the final game of the series. Solar needs uno más. One more game to claim the series and to become our champion. Let's go. As we load into Tourmaline, a very small map of the map pool. Aggression is favored here. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss down in the series. Can he bounce back and force that ace match? It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is Solar. One game away from claiming the series. And again, we did see a very risky maneuver out of Solar last game, going for a Roach base opener into muta play. Very risky, but once again, the mutas were unscouted. They were unscouted, unseen. Eventually, we saw, once they were revealed, MaxPax did react with his own setup, of course. But alas, we saw that MaxPax still sustained a lot of economic damage from those mutas. Mutas, they more than pay for themselves. As we're settling into our next game. Let's go. For now, hatch gas pool. We do have our standard opener out of Solar. when it comes to last game, MaxPax, he was trying to tech up as well, like working towards Storm, working towards Archons, working towards Immortals, but again, he was stuck on a worse economy. Couldn't quite afford it. Couldn't build up, couldn't be active across the map. Oh boy. Now, as we load into Tourmaline, this is a hyper-aggressive map. We do have this entire massive area in between the bases. We have a massive area here at the linear third base and at the triangular third as well. Very accessible expansions, and this often does favor all-ins. So we're leading towards that style here from Solar. He does have some breathing room considering the scoreline as well. So we'll see if Solar does commit into, say, like a Roach-based all-in, a Hydra-based all-in. He does have options if you want to be aggressive. Otherwise, we could just see standard play to Solar. We'll see. Which we haven't seen this series, to be fair. Like, we don't expect standard play to Solar. No. Not like this. As once again, it is going to be the Stargate opener out of MaxPax. Based on the Radley, looks like an Oracle. So we're leaning more towards Oracle play. As that first Oracle is coming. Third base to Solar. We should soon be seeing one from MaxPax as well. Just catching up. As this is going to be early Eva Chamber. Okay, let's go. Early Eva Chamber into +1 melee, into Ling Hydra. Meanwhile, we do see a much earlier Twilight Council. Now, we've seen these early Twilight Councils out of MaxPax already this series, and every time it's been a late Forge into early Blink. But this time, I want to say that Glaives are a lot more viable here. So we're expecting Glaives, otherwise we could just see a later Forge into Blink again. Which has not been really working out too well here for MaxPax. 4 gateways. It's going to be Glaives. No, he goes Blink again. 4 gate Blink, no Robo. Okay, this time a much later Forge. Interesting. So a very delayed Forge here from MaxPax. Random Queen. Okay. Gets a Random Queen. Not bad. So this looks like a 3-base all-in. Looks like an 8 gate once again. I think it was on 10,000 feet. We saw that MaxPax also went for the same build. We've seen this like, what, 2-3 times already. It's supposed to be a way to gain map control, that is true. It's supposed to be a way to like put pressure on the Zerg. But +1 melee Lings, that's going to excel. It's going to be ideal. Now the Stalkers, they can be more aggressive sooner, just because of the terrain, just because of the short rush distance by ground. So here comes MaxPax. He's got his 4 gateways. There is no proxy, so it will take some time to reinforce his army. Oh, and we can see that MaxPax, sorry, he does take his gases early. So gases are being taken, and that means he's taking up into Storm. It could have been Storm, could have been Colossus. Storm is on the horizon, so early Storm out of MaxPax. Taking up. So we're trying to engage. Stasis goes off. Solar did see some gases being taken, but it's hard to confirm how many gases there are. Didn't see the gases at the natural. Max does poke in. Oh. Does poke in, gonna be zoned away. Storm is almost done. Needs a little bit more time. Oh, nice aces once again. Stage traps are connecting. MaxPax, remember, he's not all in here. He's taking over the Storm. He's getting a 4th expansion. At the same time, likewise, Solo also massing out his Hydras. Massing up those Hydras. Eventually to break out across the map. That's what the Storm is going to be for. And speaking of, MaxPax, he pulls away. And these bases are still very open. He's got 4 High Templar at the 3rd. He's got plenty of Storms. And where are you taking us, Solar? He's droning. Okay, we're droning up even harder. No Lurker Den yet. But for the first time this series, we're actually getting into like a proper mid-game. Both players are claiming their 4th expansions. Both players are taking up. Ooh. Yeah, MaxPax is getting his 4th base, now rushing into Skytoss. Fleet Beacon's on the way, we're going into Skytoss. We'll see if MaxPax can get there. At the same time, Bailey's here roll in. Oh, he gets in. Yeah, he gets into the mineral line. Does connect barely, though. Only 6 probes. Could have been so much worse. 6 probes go down. Could have been so much worse. And Soul's about to max. And the question becomes, can Solar break MaxPax before Skytoss? We can see a wall of stasis traps, shield batteries, cannons as well. It's going to be difficult to break. Solar. And again, the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for MaxPax. Solar's on the timer. He's morphing in 23 Bailings. That's a lot of Bailings. Again, he's basically all in. Remember, he's choosing not to get infestation bit. There's no pit, no extra gases, no hive, no lurkers, no nothing. Storm's coming in. Oof. I think MaxPax holds. With this many Storms and this many High Templar, Stasis goes up. Storms A once again zone away. Bailey's rolling in. More Storms being thrown down. There's what, 2 Storms left. Without Storm, Solar can overwhelm. Up. Bailings. He gets 1. Yeah, he gets 1 High Templar, does force in the Archons, and Solar's on it. Yeah, Solar, he is done. He has broken the center expansion. There were a lot of Storms, that is true, but there wasn't much else. Only Storms. Nice that run by. Nice that counterattack. Will buy some time. Does force Solar all the way back home. But again, he achieved his goal to break the center expansion. Now we can see Tempest production is underway, but it's too late. Still too late. MaxPax, he was so greedy taking up into Skytoss, and he did not get away with it. This cloak. Cloak is activated. This here does pull away. We do have a High Templar coming in. Soon have a Storm. Yeah, for now, selling for the Archons. Getting 1, getting 2. Yeah, a bit of a premature Storm. Better towards the end. Takes down one of the Immortals. Takes down an Immortal. Spire is now on the way. That should be for Corruptors. Help deal with the Skytoss. And once again, very nice little run by 15 drone kills. Oh my god. This is gonna get a hand. No shot. This is gonna get a hand. Solar, he was in a commanding position, but these Zella Rumbys are doing critical damage. 18 drones. That is how many in total? 30. 30 drone kills in total. Solar, he has to deny the expansion, but he cannot. Cannot deny the base. Solar, he's broke. He just lost so many drones and he's not re-droning. Ah. Yeah, he had to re-drone. Now collapsing in. Storm lands. Massive storm with the slow zone as well. Yeah, get hurt. Yeah, the storm is brutal. Another storm. GG gets called. The aggression fails. MaxPax, he holds, he defends. And we're going to the ace match. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, Solar, he was doing so well for himself, breaking the center expansion, committing here to his Link Bane Hydra all-in. But as we mentioned, as we pointed out, he lost 30 drones to Zealot run buys. It was the Zealot run buys that just won MaxPax the game there, crippling the economy and ensuring that there was no longevity there to Solar's army. He was just torn apart by the Zealots. And GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax does claim the game, and now we're going all the way into the ace match. Let's go. Going to game 5. It's going to be on Celestial Enclave. And spawning in the top right-hand corner here of Celestial Enclave, we have the blue Protoss player, the Danish Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the South Green Zerg. It is Solar. Let's go. Let us go. Again, a very intense back and forth so far here between MaxPax and Solar. We finally actually had somewhat of a macro game last game, but Solar, he did go for a big Link Bane Hydra all-in. Again, he did not take his gases. He did not drone up into 80 plus workers. He had no infestation bit. He had no hive. He was purely off of a lair tech all-in. But the Zealot realm lines were brutal. Again, doing so much damage across the map, and they won MaxPax the game. They won him the game. The charge, let's back me. And with that, welcome to Celestial Enclave. Interesting. Celestial Enclave, of course, is maybe the most vetoed map in the map pool. The most vetoed map is just very macro oriented, very defensive. As a result, we do often not see any games here, but we often see longer and later games. It's easier to build up into 3, 4, and 5 bases, and to embrace that late game, to embrace that sky toss. It is a very common Zerg veto. So for this to make it through the veto process, I'm curious to see what Solar has in store for us. Now, we have seen a lot of 3-base all-ins on this map, specifically targeting these rocks to knock down the rocks and to gain access into the natural. We have seen some mixed results out of that. Once again, though, it is a high ground natural, so very defendable natural expansion. Likewise, we have a pocket expansion as well, which is often saved as a 4th or as a 5th base. Often do save it. We'll see how this story ends. No shot we go mutas again. I mean, the muta play has been successful with Solar. True. Somewhat, kind of. It's a mixed success when it comes to mutas. So now we're going to be moving out. Solar claiming his 3rd. Once again, going to be an Oracle opener out of MaxPax. In every game so far, we have seen early blink, and we're expecting it again. Oh boy. And Solo, he was forced to take the unnatural natural, so a bit of an awkward early game setup. It's a little bit awkward. They're just going to be zoned away. Oracle's halfway done. We are getting there. That last game, it's not the first time we've seen Solar in a more commanding position and to have it just slip away and slip through his fingers. Not the first time. So now the Oracles do poke in. 2 would have to say shade in forward as well. This is going to get a hand. Wait, well, 6, 7 drones going down. 8 drones. 9? 8 drone kills here at the third base. That should not have happened. Sorry, my mind was elsewhere. I just assumed that things would be pretty standard here, but no, never mind. 8, 9 drones going down. This is critical damage. Twilight Council back at home. Late Forge, 3 gates, early blink aggression. This is a shaky start here from Solar. Once these Blink Stalkers come into play, Solar's going to have a much weaker defensive setup. And Solar, he has to make a decision here. Now, first things first, Solar, no Eva Chamber. So no Eva Chamber, no +1 melee. With the earlier lair, we're expecting either Hydras, Spire, or Roaches, but I believe there's also no Roach one. Yeah, he's going for Link Queenitis all in. He has to all in. He just took too much damage. You can't just lose 11 drones in the early game. 11 drone kills. Now, there is an Overlord in the main, so we can go for the Nidus Storm within the main base, within the pocket. You can see Solar, he's distracting with these Lings. That's the goal. He just wants to distract. Keep the focus on the Zerglings. Nidus will soon be on the way. There it is. There's the Nidus. Let's go. Can Solar pull this off? Can he kill? Can he end that Bappy? Oh, this relation now knows. I mean, he was already aware. Scouts as the Nidus finishes. Reactive batteries on the way. It's not ready yet. Lings A bust into the mineral line. Probe's going to be going down. So far, that's 2 probe kills. Already a lot of damage. The Oracles, they race back home. They get some okay positioning here. And Pulse starts being self-moving up. 1 Oracle gets targeted down. Lings are flooding into the mineral line, and every probe will fall. Takes down all the probes, but what about the Stalkers? Yes, again, the Stalkers, they're going to be zoned away. Blink is just now finishing. 19 probe kills. And Blink is now done. Lings, they peel off into the natural. The Oracle will defend. And the Oracle's helping out at the natural base, but again, this might still be out of hand. The battery does put in a lot of work. Okay, Stalkers, they stay alive. Queens are going down. Stalkers are holding their own. Remember, Solar, he has no longevity in this game, and so far this is not good enough. Does an I+1. +1 is denied. And MaxPax holds. Wow, MaxPax, he does hold on. And again, MaxPax, he still has a solid economy in comparison to his opponents. He's got 3 bases. He has 3 bases up and running. Solar now getting a hydrogen and now getting gases. Oof. Rough position for Solar. This is Solar admitting that he cannot kill his opponents, but it's also him admitting that he's not set up for a late game. He's not set up for it. Now at least +1 was denied. True. At least there is no +1. But Stalkers are going to get a hand. Supply blocking Solar. As again, Solar trying to find some damage here, trying to find a way in. MaxPax, he commits. Flying creep. Catching out these Zerglings. And GG. Yeah, GG gets called again. And Solar, the all-in failed, and MaxPax, his snowballs out of control. He breaks out across the map, and MaxPax, he will claim the series 3-2, becoming the WardiTV Monday number 78 champion. GG. GG, well played again. Critical damage early on, winding it back. Remember, Solar he lost 11 drones. Solar he lost 11 drones at the start of the game. That's why he was forced into the all-in. I was expecting like a Hydra based all-in or a Roach based all-in, but no, it was a Link Queen Nidus all-in instead. True. Was Nidus all-in, and damage was done. He was able to kill, what was it, 20 plus workers in the main base. A lot of economic damage, but the reality is that was not good enough. That was not good enough. He was all in. He had to kill his opponents. In the end, he did only cripple somewhat. He did some economic damage, but not good enough. Not good enough. In the end, MaxPax, he snowballed out of control, was able to counterattack, able to punish Solar for failing to kill him. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to MaxPax. My condolences to Solar. Again, it's quite rare to see MaxPax in a PvZ. We don't see it too often, and it was a very chaotic, very dynamic CVP as well, with a lot of all-ins, with some failed cheese, with some successful cheese as well. When it comes to the Muta play, it was interesting to see both the polarities, like see it shut down, or otherwise see it excel. GG, well played. In the end, congratulations to MaxPax. But again, a shout out to Solar for making a series out of it, as that does wrap up our evening broadcast here. When it comes to our schedule, it is a really intense schedule, might I add. You can see here that we just finished up with our Monday evening broadcast. Tomorrow morning we're going to be live with OSC. We have the OSC Elite Rising Star broadcast tomorrow morning. We have GSL CK tomorrow evening. Bear that in mind. For those that are unaware, GSL CK is a Team League format where the top players in Korea do draft their teams and they face off in this Pro League and all-kill format. We covered the first and second editions of the event over on Soup, and the VODs are available on YouTube. This is going to be the third edition, GSLCK number 3. It'll be not on Twitch, it'll be on Soup. It will be on the Soup platform. You can see the command !soup in the chat. Likewise, we have Pegasus Cup on Wednesday. We have the Team Liquid, the finalist judging stream on Wednesday evening as well. We already went through our judging process. We already went through all the maps last week. This week we will have our finalists, and we can go over them. We can go over the finalists. We can go over the feedback that we provided. We can go over the judging, the comments from the other judges as well regarding those top maps. So that'll be over on Wednesday evening. We have the Pondcast, Kung Fu Cup, KSL, Masters 1 Open, and Tunic Cup as well. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. Until then, though, we're going to be going on. We're going to be heading off, and we'll be back tomorrow with OSC and with GSL. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow for some more StarCraft. Otherwise, we're going to be heading off here for the time being. Stick around. Do give sort of some love. Sort of a streaming. But actually, we raid sort of quite a lot. So we'll give some love to Eva. Eva. Ay. So we're going to be heading off here for the evening. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Congratulations to MaxPax once again. And we'll see you guys next time for some more StarCraft. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. Does help us fund our tournaments on a regular basis. Otherwise, do check us out on YouTube. !Socials. Our YouTube channel does upload. Also, we do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Plenty of content, plenty of VODs. Do check it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, bye, ciao. Till next time, hasta luego.